We will be jumping into the second game. Currently, Abver is leading 1-0 against TotalBiscuit.
Yep.
And we're going to basically jump in. Obviously, we've had a couple of delays here and there, and we're going to basically try to pick up where we left off.
Yep.
And continue with the schedule we have planned, which is a lot of good games.
Yeah, we're scheduled for about, well, we were scheduled for about 14 hours casting, I think, because of the delays, obviously. And
it's only 12.
Yeah, only 12.
It's only 12
it's a light
hours.
day today.
Yeah. And I've got to be super careful because any of you watching IPL 4 last weekend,
you know,
I'm still sick.
Yeah, I've gotten over the germs.
Flying doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. All those recycled air, it's pretty terrible for that.
So when I was flying, a lot of you guys have probably experienced it, where you have your ears like starts attacking you.
Yep.
But because I was that sick, my nose was already blocked up, so I actually got attacked in my ear, which spread across behind my eye.
Ow.
And it actually hurt more than anything I've ever experienced before.
How you doing? Say hi to the stream. Wave to the stream, damn it.
Trancy, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really, really hurt. And last night, as soon as I got off the aeroplane, my ear popped, quite normal.
Yes.
Got back to the hotel, and it reblocked itself. And I was like, what is this? It's never happened before. And it actually stayed blocked from about 9 p.m. until about 4 in the morning.
Yeah. Well, if you need me to do some minor surgery, I'm fully qualified.
My ear's not big enough for that knife. You'd cut it open and make a huge hole. And it looks like we're ready to get into games, so finally we can get these guys in the way. I'm going to ask go, make ref. Okay, no ref.
The countdown has begun. Good stuff. And we can, of course, switch to game cam. All should be fantastic. Looking forward to casting this matchup and every other matchup that's coming through this fantastic tournament.
Yeah. Just looking at our schedule, actually, TotalBiscuit, we're doing ThorZaiN versus Abver, catching up our second game, which is going live in about half an hour. Will be EG's Puma, and a lot of Americans are going to surely love me saying Puma again, versus Osso, which is going to be a great TVZ as well. But nevertheless, Antigua Shipyard for now, ThorZaiN versus Abver. This is a great game, especially when mouzThorZaiN is currently 0-1 in this game.
Yes, he is. Apparently there is an audio issue of some sort, but they're going to have to be specific as to what, and then we might be able to fix it. In the meantime, it's my pleasure to bring you mouzThorZaiN. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing, of course, Terran to the south of Antigua Shipyard versus his opponent. It is roxkisAbver. He is in the purple trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the north.
And finally, we're getting into games. I've been waiting a long time for these games, TotalBiscuit. I hardly slept last night in anticipation for these games. ThorZaiN here. He's always had trouble versus Zerg. He started to patch things over most recently when he did move to Korea, but we can still see he's struggling here and there. And Abver, despite not being that famous, is a pretty good Zerg player, has achieved a lot. The thing is with Russian players, it's very similar to like Korea, like China. There's only Russian leagues, only Russian tournaments, which a lot of people don't know that much about. And to be honest, he's actually done quite well within Russia in certain leagues. Though he hasn't been that active recently, coming back into the scene and showing us that he's capable of going through this group stage.
Yeah, you shouldn't underestimate Russian players, as I believe Idra found out to his cost in the ESWC when he lost to LiveZerg, which nobody really expected. There are a lot of very powerful players over there that are not necessarily exposed to you as a general audience simply because of the way that the scene works and the way that very foreign language orientated Starcraft 2 scene goes. But there are a lot of great players. Of course, there are the more famous Ukrainian and Russian players such as White Ra and Bratok, and then you've got these guys who are equally talented. And that is obviously showing in this series because ThorZaiN is down one game already, which I'm sure he was hoping to coast through his group, and that isn't happening.
Almost definitely. His group, actually looking at the group, ThorZaiN, Select, Abver, Keiru. You know, ThorZaiN should be pretty much winning that group, equally to Select there. So we'll have to see how he's going to do. So far, the refinery has gone down for him. He will want to use the Reactor Hellion opening here, and will probably want to go ahead and start harassing around these areas, of course, to start maximizing damage from Hellions, especially on a map like this, where it's not that easy to defend.
Yeah, it looks like we might have got the audio issues sorted out. Starcraft decided it would be a fantastic idea to increase the line-in volume to 100% when it was set to 15% before. So thanks to the wonders of Starcraft for that one. Spawning pool going down right here for Abver. Nothing really out of the ordinary in terms of his opening. He did his extractor trick through to 11 supply, straight into the hatchery, then followed by the spawning pool. And ThorZaiN, of course, definitely not known for very early aggressive play. We're looking for the swap around right here. He'll start to build this reactor, I would imagine, any moment now, as soon as he has that 50 gas, and then go for that Reactor Hellion opening to try and primarily stop creep spread, as well as potentially get into harass.
Yeah, I mean, like I said just now, is on this map, it's really good for players to go 6 more Hellions, actually. And we'll have to see what he does decide to do here in a second.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that and see what's going on in that regard. ThorzaiN has to vary his game up a lot of the time because people are getting particularly smart when it comes to ThorzaiN's play. People watch him and find him very interesting. The Koreans find him very interesting. Incredibly so, in fact. The fact that he plays very, very slowly and he's very patient with how it goes. They call him the Spoon Terran, and it's because it's simply down to the fact that he kills people with a spoon. He's very, very slow with how he actually executes his strategies. The problem is that people are finding holes in that they're starting to poke in a bit earlier. They're not letting him get up the kind of force that he likes to do. This heavy mech, often going for +3/+3 when it comes to the mech upgrade. So he is varying things up, and we're seeing great marine micro for him recently as well, and reactor Hellion openings, a lot of aggression. And these 2 Hellions, we'll see if he decides to follow up. He's got 2 more, and of course it is quite common, as you mentioned before, Apollo, to go up to 6 Hellions on this particular map.
Yeah, indeed, and 2 are on the way now. We'll start denying creep tumors, of course, here. The thing that Abver is very good at is defending these kind of things. He has speed about to finish. Already has 4 Zerglings and a Spinecrawler out with a Queen. So against these 2 Hellions, it's going to be fine. If they actually start to increase numbers, that may be a problem. But if you look in ThorzaiN's base now, we actually see that he's switched up that factory and is starting to go for tanks.
Yep, that's expected, honestly, from ThorzaiN, this heavy mech style, rolling in very, very slowly, very patiently when it comes to his expansion timings and what's going on there. So the current count of Hellions sitting at 4. 4 can be enough to get in sometimes, but it really does depend. You've got to be extremely careful with how you execute this. As it stands, there is the possibility, I think, of getting him maybe doing some damage. The risk is, of course, not doing enough damage to justify these Hellions and then leaving yourself open to a counter-attack. So perhaps ThorzaiN may wait for the tank to come out first.
Well, we do actually have a 3rd command system being put
Wow,
down.
very early.
You know, Korean style, where they go for this and then basically double expand. They have triple the SCV count coming in, and they also have that extra set of mules, which is going to help out a bunch. Meanwhile, with ThorzaiN, he's currently just sitting outside the creep spread, does not want to allow it to increase down, of course. And we do have Blue Flame being researched, actually, instead of Siege Tech. So that's an interesting decision here. And it looks like we are going to be seeing a more mech-orientated style here from ThorzaiN.
I'm liking that a lot. That is sort of the more classic style that people remember from TSL 3 that was able to triumph over everyone, including Naniwa. So I would love to see this going on this map. It's a pretty good map for it, considering the control of the center is so important. Yeah. If you have heavy mech, if you can control the map with Hellions and consistently harass, if you can hold the center with siege tanks, take that gold, then you're in a brilliant position.
Yeah, basically what ThorzaiN's going to do is play this the spoon style.
Oh, yes.
In terms of taking a really fast 3rd base, and it's very easy to control with siege tanks too, because it's such a narrow area to defend in. And then crawl towards the center base, which is actually a blue mineral field.
Yes,
not
they're
a gold,
using
by
the
way.
different version for this one.
So he's going to be able to control that center very easily. And there's the armory going down as well. So you can start to produce +1. And more importantly, depending on the style we see, bring out Thors. If there are no Mutalisks, he doesn't need to go for Thors whatsoever. He's just going to stay on Tank Hellion.
Yeah, and currently he's fine because this is, at the moment, he's rolling for Infester Ling, really. He's not bringing out any other unit types for the time being. Going for the double upgrades, pathogen glands as well.
Yeah, double upgrades. That's going to be really important. The thing is, with double upgrades, you have to take a relatively fast 3rd base, or otherwise you won't be able to maintain the gas income to actually, you know, buy the upgrades.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to have to do that very, very shortly here. Otherwise, he's going to be too low in tanks. And he could just get steamrolled by this Ling Infester style. And double upgrades also coming out here from Abver.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. The double armory on the one side, the double evolution chamber on the other. Abver has a similar problem in that if he's rolling double upgrades, then he is going to have a relatively low infester count due to the lack of gas. Yeah. So he's got to watch out for that and try and take his 3rd. And the first engagement coming in right here, he's able to catch those tanks completely out of position, but there's enough Blue Flame Hellions and Marines to hold it. ThorzaiN not losing a single tank. A really nice engagement here from him. I was thinking maybe because he didn't have the siege tech, that will be a problem. Apparently not. Now the Blue Flame Hellions going in. An attempted Ling run by is easily defeated. More Lings coming in, trying to hold on to these tanks. Those Lings do not survive a second.
Yeah, huge mistakes here from Abver. Shouldn't have gone in that fast. He should have waited for the reinforcements before going in. And now he's losing drones. He's going to lose infestors. Great fungal growth, though.
Yeah, he's able to clean up those, but the siege tanks do get away, and I like the fact that TotalBiscuit pulled them back. He knew that that Vanguard force would be destroyed, but in my honest opinion, he has certainly done enough damage to justify 4 Hellions.
And most important, he gets away with both the tanks.
Exactly.
So actually only leaves, or only kills, Hellions and a few Marines, which at this time, we talked about how gas-intensive we're seeing TotalBiscuit be. Saving these 2 tanks is so important, while killing drones and putting a lot of pressure on lava injects, mist, and so on. So actually, that push was fantastic, and there is that early 3rd base being taken right away. And you can already see the gases are starting to be lined up so that he can immediately go into double upgrades. We already see 1-1 being worked. 2-2 will happen very, very shortly here, and I am enjoying TotalBiscuit's play a lot right now.
I absolutely love this. It's fairly similar to the way that Goody's been playing recently. Goody's always been known for being incredibly defensive, very heavy mech, but he's been throwing in some aggression here and there. Mostly he likes to do it with Banshees, but also with Blue Flame Hellion. TotalBiscuit is using a similar style, and I think really that's the way that this matchup is starting to go, and I like it. I really love the style. It's very, very effective.
And basically what we need to see now from Abver is he has to expand more rapidly. He has to tech up harder. He cannot cut it with Lings and Infestors. No way can he actually fight TotalBiscuit's army. Lings are going to die immediately. Infestors are going to get shot down by siege tanks. And unless he gets Nora Parasite as well, things are just not going to work. And he hasn't even researched that upgrade. So this army is so small. Even with Infested Terran usage, it's not going to work. So he has to be so careful with what he's doing right now because he has a lot of gas invested in this. He needs to go to Hive. He needs to start going to Broodlords and also Ultras because TotalBiscuit's not going to attack. TotalBiscuit has the best defense in the world as playing Terran. If you try to attack here, it's not going to work out well for you.
What the hell is up with TotalBiscuit's Thors, one has to wonder. I don't know if that's a bug or if TotalBiscuit's got custom Thors made for him by Blizzard. Whatever the case, look at that defense. Look how good that defense is. He loses 1 tank and then annihilates everything else. And that Infestor is toast as well. Wonderful, wonderful execution. That fungal misses. Disastrous right there for Abver. A second fungal used to try and catch more Hellions out of position, but only 1. Overlapping fields of fire coming in right now. Those Zerglings doing nothing whatsoever. Right back into the... I don't even know, these mutant Thors right here for TotalBiscuit.
And basically what TotalBiscuit now does, he will go ahead and lift up his command center and just go ahead and expand. That's because there's no units on the ground right now. We've seen a tech switch coming out from Abver where he's going over to roaches. So he wants to stop producing 1 million roaches. And even now, it doesn't matter. You're too far behind. It's literally 3 base versus 3 base Zerg at the current time because the 4th base isn't even saturated yet. And very, very shortly, TotalBiscuit's going to take the middle of the map and so on. So this is going to get a lot more difficult as the game goes on. He is now also throwing down a Spire, so we might see this awkward tech switch coming from Abver here, which may deal well with this, especially because there are only 2 Thors in the mix. And unless more are produced, a Muta switch is going to be excellent here from Abver.
Yes, it will. And you notice the infamous scouting barracks. Well, that was interesting. The infamous scouting barracks is looking around, seeing what it can see. Does it scout the Spire? A Nidus network coming up here from Abver as well, just to make things really interesting. It hasn't seen it, I don't think.
No, he hasn't. Basically, what he's going to use the Nidus for is to basically throw down the Nidus worm inside the main base because Terran is far away and is going to be in the center of the map rather than defending his main base, of course.
Yeah, very much so. Abver he's got his little vanguard of infested Terrans, which are going to do absolutely nothing, and it's going to pop pretty much immediately right there. And TotalBiscuit securing this middle. As you said, this version of the Antigua shipyard, the more recent version, does not, in fact, include the gold minerals in the center. So controlling the center less important, but still fairly vital.
A lot of drones at the top right now. 4 Hellions do come in and kill an entire drone line there. So that's actually a lot of drones gone down. 7 drones going down, but more importantly, it stopped him mining then, especially gas.
Yeah, that's always nice, and it is limiting the output right now, especially with Hive Tech coming on the way. If he does decide to go for something extremely gas-intensive, Ultras and Broodlords are both gas-intensive units, and he's got to be extremely careful with that. In the meantime, TotalBiscuit's working on +3/+3 for the mech.
Indeed, and now the barracks is actually going to go in and scout the Hive being made. So the barracks is going to give TotalBiscuit the timing of when he needs to push. He's already pushing up to 170 supply. as soon as he builds a new wave of units from all these factories he's now producing from, currently producing from 5, should actually be throwing down more factories than that. That's actually relatively low. And actually, we are seeing a Nidus worm go down. And where is that gone down?
It's on the 3rd, right next to a siege tank.
It is.
Easily cleaned up right there by TotalBiscuit. I'm not really sure what Abver was trying to achieve there,
and we
honestly.
have a second Nidus worm going down on the 4th base. Well, just the 5th base, sorry. There coming down. And this one isn't going to achieve anything either, because the planetary fortress is about to finish here.
Yeah, it's going up, and of course the swarm will come out. Oh, immediately annihilated. TotalBiscuit very, very tight on the defense right there. That's a lot of gas that Abver just threw away, especially considering the gas mining was denied on the 4th.
Yeah, basically, TotalBiscuit should go now. He knows the high timing. He knows that we are going to see Abver try to go for Broodlords, try and go for Ultralisk, but there's no need for it. And as you can see now, TotalBiscuit immediately senses the timing, knows he saw the hype being built, picks up everything, is going to simply struggle across the map as casual as can be, and is literally going to kill Abver, because right now we see a few roaches in production, well 19 now, but he's going to allow TotalBiscuit to get into position, and these Thors are well upgraded, 2-2, about to be 3-3, and they're going to be one-shotting roaches down to minimal.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely vicious. It really is. And 19 roaches in production, 32 on the field. It's a lot, but honestly, that +3, the +2 missile attack is going to hit with the +3 of TotalBiscuit's forces. Those roaches, I don't think are going to last very long.
And we are actually seeing Abver, that you're not even bothering to engage, is going to go down here. We'll be able to kill a lot of economy here, but at the same time, I don't even think this is worth it.
It's a base trade scenario, I suppose, and honestly, I think TotalBiscuit can afford this, especially if TotalBiscuit now goes right for the natural, which is what he should be doing. He should be moving out immediately, going straight for that natural expansion, and maybe try and hold this off for the time being. There's already a line of tanks. Oh, Abver charges right into a line of tanks. Disastrous stuff, losing plenty of units as he goes through. Another Nidus is going down as well.
Yeah, I mean, basically that Nidus is going down onto the 3rd base, as you can see now on the right-hand side here. And he's doing very well with this harassment, but at the end of the day, how is he going to combat this army of TotalBiscuit? And his answer to that is actually Mutalisk, but there are more than enough Thors to deal with that. Yeah,
absolutely, especially with +3. You've got 5 Thors stopping their way through this. That Nidus Wet Network will go down as well. The swarm of roaches actually blocked in a little bit by those SCVs, now finally driven away. And the damage that's been done to TotalBiscuit's economy really isn't all that relevant at this point.
Yeah, but even TotalBiscuit's reinforcements are going to be enough to hold off these roaches. So at the moment, I feel Abver's in borrowed time. As you can see, 112 supply versus 156. There is literally no way he can stop TotalBiscuit's army. Maybe if he can magic box all the Thors clumped up together, but it's going to be near impossible. And these roaches are finally dwindling. 3-3 mech army is always going to beat down these roaches nice and easy.
Yeah, absolutely. There's 6 Thors. You're not going to do that with that many Mutalisks. It's just simply not going to happen. Abver is in a really bad way at the moment, and now finally everything has been cleaned up down here. TotalBiscuit is secure, his natural is secure, more importantly his production facilities are secure, as is his 4th, and he built 4 more command centers, 5 more command centers. So he's not exactly short in that regard. Down goes the hive.
And here come the Mutalisk on the right-hand side to do some harassment to the lack of Thors. A single Thor, but is in orange health. If he can manage to magic box that quite well, he's going to be able to clean up a lot of the tanks. But at the same time, he still has to worry about this army.
Yeah, and the Thor will go down, which is nicely done there, and Abver trying to clean that up. There are more units coming out. There's actually Banshee transition here from TotalBiscuit, which is interesting considering the amount of Mutalisks in play, but I suppose he's confident of cleaning those up eventually. Missile turret now starting to shell that. Abver just isn't caring and loses a Muta in the process.
Yeah, basically the Banshee transition is simply because I've killed all your tech, you don't have anything, and GG.
Nicely played right there. Very, very nicely done.
He ties the series up.
Yeah, good stuff by TotalBiscuit. Very, very confident. Wasn't really looking at any risk at any point during that game.
Indeed. And TotalBiscuit, the best strategy for the best map, the very defensive map, and executes it excellently. And in that map alone, looks actually untouchable. And I actually just want to quickly look and go ahead and see what the first map was, because the way TotalBiscuit is playing there, he shouldn't be losing to Abver,
no,
to
he
be
shouldn't.
honest. So I'm just going to have a quick look here, and the first map was actually Shakir's Plateau. surprisingly, because I feel that ThorZaiN is very good on this map as
yeah,
well.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the slow, methodical mech style being very, very potent on Shakura's Plateau, the ability to cut the map in half with the siege tank lineup. I'm very surprised Abver took that. It was apparently a 25-minute game as well, so there wasn't any cheese going on. Abver just outplayed him there, but ThorZaiN looks like he's in his... It could just be that he's a bit tired, that he's trying to get into his rhythm there, but that was the ThorZaiN we know and hopefully love there coming in, and if he plays like that again, he's going to be in a fantastic position. Abver's going to be hard-pressed to beat him in the next round.
Indeed, and just speaking to the admins now, finding out, because we were at 12 o'clock meant to be covering Puma against Osho, so I'm just going to ask if they are holding that or if they're going to play without us, but either way, actually I'm getting an invite from Osho, but we obviously need to go into the third game of ThorZaiN versus Abver, so I'm just going to ask the admin and try to fix this up.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do there, and then obviously we'll have to make the call one way or the other. It wouldn't really be right to jump out of the series in the middle of it, in my honest opinion.